You've been told your whole life, pick one thing and get really good at it. So you picked one, then you picked another, then another. And everyone around you kept saying you're unfocused. But here's what nobody told you, the full version of that quote you've been shamed with your entire life. It ends very differently. I was 14 when it first happened. My school had an honours track, but you could only pick one, advanced math or advanced chemistry. I loved both equally, but there was only one slot on the schedule. Pick one, they said, so I picked one. And a part of me went quiet. Now, you know the saying, a jack of all trades is a master of none. You've heard it 100 times, but here's what nobody ever tells you. The full quote ends with but oftentimes better than a master of one. Funny how they always leave that part out. Then came college, one major, one form, art, psychology, business, communications, all fighting for that single line. You picked one, but you never stopped wondering about the others. Even in college, one semester it was the film club, the next it was the business society, then the volunteer org, then the campus magazine. Everyone else had already picked their thing. So you picked one too. And a part of you went quiet, again. I don't think this is just my story. Each of us has a moment when we were told to choose only one. You have to weigh your options against some invisible checklist. And it's not like picking out a shirt where you can wear the other one tomorrow. Sometimes it costs many things for your choice. Time, money, effort. In some cases, you never have a second chance. So it's not easy to settle on one thing, one direction that you want to pour yourself into. And even after you've decided, the doubt doesn't just disappear, it lingers up. In some East Asian cultures, career is an important part of life, and the idea of choosing a path early has been deeply ingrained for thousands of years. On their first birthday, many families follow a tradition of placing a tray of objects before the child: soil, pen, mirror, money, gold, book, and let the child choose one thing. The purpose is simply to predict the future profession. While the ritual is more a matter of fun and good fortune than genuine prophecy, it quietly reflects an expectation that society has been planting in each of us since before we could speak, that everyone must have a predetermined path to follow. But when exactly does this pressure to choose start to weigh on you? Nagte. We are asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? From around the age of 5. The question follows you, shapeshifts, and by the time you're in high school, it stops being cute and starts keeping you up at night. Because somewhere along the way, society made it clear that you cannot answer with 20 things. You have to pick one. We have romanticized the idea of a single destiny, a one true calling, the belief that every person is born to do one great thing and devote their entire life to it. But what if you're simply not wired that way? What if you're curious about many things at once? In this system, there is no comfortable place for you. So what does it actually look like, being built for a wicked world? Let's talk about shapes. Most career advice tells you to be I-shaped. Go deep. One skill, one lane. Master it. Then there's the dash-shaped person. A little bit of everything, but nothing deep enough to stand on. But there's a third shape, the M. M-shaped people have multiple deep skills, 2, 3, sometimes 4 areas where they've gone deep enough to be dangerous. And between those peaks, bridges, connections that most specialists can't even see. If you've ever felt guilty for going deep into something new, for learning video editing and psychology and business, and a language you'll probably never use professionally, that's not a flaw. That's your M taking shape. You're not scattered, you're synthesizing. Now, this sounds nice, but is it actually backed by anything? Actually, yes. The World Economic Forum's Future of Jobs report keeps updating the most in-demand skills, and every year the list looks less like a specialist's resume and more like, well, yours. Analytical thinking, creative thinking, resilience, curiosity, technological literacy. These aren't niche skills. These are the exact skills you build when you refuse to stay in one lane. And this isn't new. History's most impactful minds were serial masters. Da Vinci, Benjamin Franklin, Maya Angelou. They didn't succeed despite their many interests. They succeeded because of them. There's even a term for it, serial mastery. You go deep into something, you extract what you need, you carry it forward, and you go deep into the next thing. Each skill becomes a lens that sharpens everything else. It's not quitting, it's graduating. And stay with me, because your brain, it's literally built for this. When you switch between interests, your brain doesn't reset. It does something remarkable. Neuroscientists call it cognitive flexibility, the ability to shift between different mental frameworks without losing depth. Most people's brains get comfortable in one mode. Yours keeps switching, and every time it switches, it gets faster, sharper, more creative. There's also a dopamine component. Your brain releases dopamine not just when you achieve something, but when you're curious about something new. That pull you feel toward the next thing, that's not distraction. That's your neurochemistry doing exactly what it's supposed to do. That's not ADHD. That's your brain building bridges. And here's where it gets wild. Psychologists have a concept called far transfer. When a skill from one domain unexpectedly improves, performance in a completely different one. A musician who becomes a better coder. A therapist who becomes a better marketer. The more diverse your skill stack, the more transfer happens. You're not behind, you're connecting. In 2015, a researcher named Emilie Wapnick gave a TED talk and finally put a name to all of this. Multi-potentialite. Someone with many interests and creative pursuits. Not confused, not flaky, just wired differently. And if that word hits you somewhere deep, good. It should, because it was made for people like you. But, and I need to be honest with you here, this isn't all upside. And do you know the strength of a multi-potentialite? Maybe you don't realize that you have the skill to synthesize ideas. You connect things that seem to have nothing in common and create something better out of them. Draw on knowledge from multiple fields to approach a problem differently. You see the intersection point that the specialists miss. Moreover, you also learn rapidly. A new language, a new instrument, the rules of a sport. When you are attracted to something, you soon dive in headfirst. And here's the important thing. You rarely start from scratch. The knowledge and skills you built across areas usually accelerate your progress in everything new you try. This led to another strength, adaptability. New environment, new community, new job, not a problem for you. A fast company called adaptability the most important soft skill of all, and for a multi-potentialite it comes naturally. Sometimes having many interests is a superpower, but sometimes it's a shield. And I think you already know the difference in, are you exploring because you're genuinely curious? Or are you jumping to the next thing because you're afraid of what happens if you actually commit to one? I'm not saying this to scare you, I'm saying it because the answer matters. Psychologist Barry Schwartz, in his research on the paradox of choice, found that an abundance of options does not always lead to freedom. It often leads to paralysis, anxiety, and regret. Being wired for many things does not exempt you from the necessity of choosing, at least sometimes, and at least for long enough to see something through. Adaptability is a strength. But without the ability to commit when it matters, it can quietly become a liability. The goal then is not to celebrate scattered curiosity as an identity, but to learn when to follow your range and when to plant your feet. Because some doors only open after you've stood in front of them long enough. If you're exploring, keep going. Build your M, stack your lenses. But if you're escaping, the fix isn't to pick one thing. It's to ask yourself why finishing feels so dangerous. And here's the practical part no one talks about. You don't have to monetize every interest. Some peaks on your M are for money, some are for meaning, some are just for you. That's okay. It's not about doing everything, it's about doing the right things. Remember that wicked world we talked about? The one that changes faster than anyone can specialize? The world wasn't ready for you. It is now. I told you about being 14, about college, about all the boxes I tried to fit into. But I didn't tell you what happened at 20. At 20, I stopped asking, what should I pick? And started asking, what if I don't have to? I started a YouTube channel that combined psychology, storytelling, and design. 3 things that had nothing to do with each other, on paper. But in my head, they were always connected. I just never had permission to say that out loud. And something shifted. The quiet parts, they woke up. So here's what I want you to do, not someday. This week. Write down every interest you've ever abandoned, shelved, or been told to get serious about. Don't filter, don't judge. I just list them. Then look at the list and ask yourself, where are the bridges? What connects these things that no one else can see? Because that's your M, and it's been taking shape your entire life. You were never a one-box person, and if you're watching this and something in you just went, finally, you're in the right place. If this video helped you see yourself differently, subscribe. Not for me, for the version of you that needs to hear this kind of thing more often. And drop a comment. What's the one interest you gave up that you want to bring back? I read every single one. Because all those parts of you that went quiet, let them all be loud again.